In a divorce, the best way to protect your finances is to plan ahead for your divorce. Plan ahead in terms of what you're going to do financially. Plan ahead to get an idea of what child and spousal support might look like, what things are going to look like once you've divided your assets. What are you left with? How is that going to help you in your financial future? Are you keeping the house? Are you going to be able to afford the house? Are you going to be able to afford the payment, the mortgage, insurance expenses? Can you do that on your own income, even if you're getting some support? Is that realistic? That kind of thing needs to be addressed early on, as soon as possible, so that you have some idea sooner than later where you're going with this, because that's going to help you determine, can you afford to keep your house? Can you buy out the other spouse? Because if you have a certain amount of equity, you got to pay to the other spouse. That's probably going to mean you have to borrow money in order to do that. So these kind of questions are things that will help you protect yourself financially. Also, you should consider whether you really want to go down the road of a contentious divorce versus do you want to try mediation or an uncontested divorce. Work out a reasonable resolution with your spouse and get out of the divorce sooner than later so that you can move on with your life and not hurt yourself financially. So when I have a client, one of the most important things to have is clear communications with my client. It is really important to understand where they're coming from, what they're looking for, and why. If we have a clear relationship that's based on that, it helps me determine where we're going on the case, what we're looking to do. It helps me to set reasonable expectations for the client, to tell them what they're looking at, what the likelihood of that is. And so it's setting a strategy, it's setting expectations. That is what is important in a divorce case. So if you're going through a divorce, there's no doubt you're going to go through stress. You're going to go through a lot of emotions. How do you deal with that? Best way to do that is to take care of yourself, to exercise regularly, to take care of yourself mentally. If you need a therapist, go get a therapist. Go get some therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. Learn how to do meditation. Learn to find ways to quiet yourself, to put things into perspective. Yes, you're going through a divorce. There's no doubt that's difficult. But what you want to do is put it in a compartment. You got other things going on in your life. You can't let your divorce overwhelm you. It can't take over your life. As hard as that is, you need to learn to compartmentalize things in your life, because you got to get through this. Your attorney can help you with that. So these are the kind of things that will help alleviate stress. Are you going to be able to alleviate all the stress in your divorce case? No, but you need to learn certain ways to reduce that. You have a divorce attorney. You're going through a divorce case. How do you know if they're being effective in what they're doing? Well, it's not always as simple as just, are they winning for you? Are they getting what you want? Sure, obviously that's important. You're hiring an attorney to represent you, and you want to get a certain outcome. But it's more complicated than that. You have situations where you're going through a divorce and you need an attorney to give you the reality check. They need to tell you what you're looking for is not reasonable. You're likely not going to get it. Another way to determine if your attorney is being effective is if he or she is listening to you. If you are telling him or her certain things that you want or asking for advice, and you're not getting that, well, they're not really doing their job effectively, because that's a whole part of a role of an attorney. They need to be able to listen to you and hear you out and be on the same page. If you want to make sure you're navigating your divorce with confidence and care, contact the Maggio Law Firm for more information.